For your well-being as well as ours.
Oh, no, up.
Okay. So where will we find your mum? Where will we find your mum?
Okay, so upstairs there are about 5 wardrobes.
Yep.
It's behind the bed at the back next to the sink. It's the second one. I've slipped a pile of those into his drawer.
That's fine. No one in here at the moment. Hold on. The police! Got it.
Cheryl, I thought you should put the bad guy.
I'm just waking up today and done my job. No.
I know it's
not a lot.
Evil, but we all, yeah.
I'm not going to comment on anything. It's not my job to comment on it, okay? Because I've got to be impartial with everything, okay? So I'm not going to give any comment.
No, well, I mean, I deserve to obviously get whatever's coming sentence-wise, because that's the right thing to do. And that might give me a bit of peace.
Okay, so Virginia, just...
The story of Virginia McCullough, a 36-year-old woman from Chelmsford, England, has captivated and horrified the public, particularly as details of her shocking crime and subsequent confession have emerged.
So this is what I've written down based on the information you just told us, because what we regard as a significant comment, because you've made it under caution, half more or less.
By the way, that's my granddad's.
Okay, right, so I've written this, please. I, Virginia McCullough, have informed Police Constables 77329 Brown and 79387 Bowers after entering my house on Friday the 15th September 2023 that I murdered my father, John McCullough, who was stated was under a bed in the rear ground floor of the house, and my mother upstairs.
McCullough's actions, spanning years of deceit, eventually led to her arrest in 2023, 4 years after she brutally murdered her parents, John McCullough, 71, and Lois McCullough, 70. In footage that shook both the courtroom and the wider public, McCullough was seen calmly confessing to the heinous act of murdering her parents and going to great lengths to cover it up.
To the sink.
Wardrobe. It's a double wardrobe.
Right, okay, I've written cupboard.
It's like 4 wardrobes, but it's the one nearest the sink. Double wardrobe. Yeah.
What's significant as I've written down here now, I've just read out to you. Are you happy to sign that to say that's a true account?
Yeah.
The grim video depicted the moment she detailed her cold-blooded actions, explaining how she managed to hide the bodies of her parents for years while simultaneously fabricating stories to mislead those who knew her family. McCullough's deception began immediately after the killings, convincing friends, neighbors, and relatives that her parents were either away on extended vacations or suffering from health issues that prevented them from keeping in touch. This elaborate charade allowed her to live undetected for years, despite the growing suspicions of others, as she drained her parents' savings and spent over £150,000 of their money. The stark contrast between her seemingly normal life and the gruesome reality hidden within the family home would later send shockwaves through the community. The bodies of John and Lois McCullough were found in chilling circumstances.
Stay where you are! Stay where you are, show your hands. Yeah.
Jenny?
Yep.
Jenny?
Yeah.
The time is 12:12 you're under arrest on suspicion of murder against Jonathan McCullough and Lois McCullough. Okay? Do you have to say anything, but it may harm defence if you don't mention when question, so much.
McCullough had gone to extreme lengths to conceal their remains within the house. Her father's body was discovered in what police described as a makeshift tomb, hidden under a bed. This macabre construction was part of her elaborate effort to keep the gruesome secret from being uncovered. Meanwhile, Lois's remains were found in an upstairs wardrobe, concealed in a manner that investigators described as disturbing and calculated. The investigation into the deaths took years to come to light due to McCullough's deceptions. As the lies piled up and relatives began questioning the absence of the elderly couple, authorities eventually launched an inquiry. When police finally raided the home in 2023, they made the grim discovery. By that point, the remains of John and Lois had deteriorated to an extent that made the case even more tragic and horrifying.
Just so I can tell you something about what's in there.
Yeah.
And then
Let's tell us
the only
something
reason
about
I said I need to tell you something about what's upstairs on the top floor as well.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Is it here on there? Yes, mind your face, obviously.
Honestly, I'm not that phone.
No, it's fine.
I know, but obviously I've got to be careful.
Virginia McCullough's arrest brought an end to her years of deceit, and she was charged with the murders of both her parents. In court, McCullough's cold confession, caught on video, left many stunned.
My dad's body's in there.
Right, okay.
Yep, okay. Obviously I'll
What about
say,
your mum?
a little bit more complicated.
Okay.
That's why I say, can I go upstairs and show
Right,
you?
can you explain it to us, please? Because
Because
we're trying to preserve this. It's now going to be seen, so we need to preserve this the best we can. So I don't want you to have you walking up there, all right? Because that's.
She offered no clear explanation for her motives, though speculation has centered on financial gain, given the significant sum of money she withdrew from her parents' accounts over the years. Her detachment from the severity of her crime, as well as her ability to keep up appearances while committing such a horrific act, baffled investigators and mental health professionals alike. The case has raised questions about how McCullough managed to evade detection for so long, and the role that her manipulation played in allowing her to carry out the murders undetected.
There were about 2 or 3 drinks that I brought downstairs, and yeah, they were basically, he didn't drink all of them, he only drank probably about half of 2, but yeah, when I went in the morning, this was before my mother, when I went in the morning, early hours, I got up about half an hour early, about 6 o'clock in the morning, came in and he was gone. It was gone. It was.
Friends and family members, many of whom were unaware of the full extent of McCullough's deceit, expressed shock and disbelief at how she was able to maintain the facade that her parents were still alive. Even when suspicions arose, McCullough was skilled at deflecting concerns, offering plausible explanations and dismissing inquiries with excuses about her parents' health or their desire for privacy. Her sentencing hearing in late 2023 marked the final chapter in a case that had gripped the nation. McCullough was convicted of both murders and sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 36 years before she would be eligible for parole. The judge in the case described her actions as premeditated, calculated, and utterly devoid of humanity. He emphasized the betrayal and violation of trust that her parents had placed in her, calling her crime one of the most disturbing he had ever presided over. The sentencing brought some measure of justice for the McCullough family, but the wounds inflicted by Virginia's actions will likely linger for years. The community, once tight-knit, has been left grappling with the fact that such horrors occurred behind closed doors, hidden in plain sight. While McCullough's conviction ensures that she will be behind bars for the foreseeable future, questions remain about what could have led her to such an extreme and brutal act. The case has sparked conversations about mental health, family dynamics, and the darker sides of human nature. Experts who have weighed in on the case have speculated that McCullough's behavior may have been driven by a combination of financial desperation, psychological issues, and a long-standing desire for control over her parents' lives. Regardless of the underlying reasons, the story of Virginia McCullough stands as a chilling reminder of how easily a seemingly ordinary life can mask a horrifying secret.